Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Thank you so much for watching my videos and welcome in today's episode. Now before you go ahead, don't forget to hit the like, don't forget to subscribe, and remember, everything that I say in this video is not financial advice. It is just purely my opinion. Remember to do your own research before investing in any type of project. So today we have an interesting video. We have an interesting topic to discuss. And I'll just go straight to one of the most viewed posts from Yonatan Sompolinsky, who is the Kaspa founder. In this post, he said, back to building the block. And this post was released back in the days when there was a lot of tension about how Kaspa is going to go forward in terms of marketing. And I find this post really interesting now. And I'm bringing this post now because of the after effects and everything that is starting to materialize. Most of the people might not be seeing this, but there is some things that are starting to appear that were discussed in this post. And I'll just point everything out in this video. So this tweet says, had a meeting with Chris Ludwig a few days ago, was quite valuable, and he suggested I share with the community its content and my full perspective on Kaspa's path in marketing. So remember, this tweet was released back when there was a lot of drama around the Kaspa X account. And it's a good thing that the Kaspa X account issue has been resolved. The community have already accepted that it's not official and it doesn't matter, because we have a lot of people that are trying to spread the word about Kaspa. So during that time, and when this post was released, it was a little bit painful for some people because of how the transition took place. But now you can see the benefits of it. And I'm going to discuss the real benefits that we're actually seeing now. So let's read the post. It's a long post, and I think everything that is written in this post is actually massive. Normally, I would just pick some points, like some things in some of the posts, and I just pick some things to discuss. But in this post, which was written by Yonatan Sompolinsky, I think everything that was written here is actually important. So we're going to read it, and we're also going to try to analyze what he said and the deep meaning of what he actually said. For a cryptocurrency to climb the hill from top 5,000 to top 50, it needs to appeal to retail and lay crypto men as a high yield investment. The hill from top 50 to top 5 is different. It requires appealing to high net worth individuals in the top 1 percentile and to top crypto institutions as a worthy store of value that could hedge against their fiat bucks, specifically USD. This statement is actually big because we know exactly that how Kaspa went from top 5,000 to top 50 is not the same tactics, the same old tricks that we used going from top 5,000 to top 50 are not the same methods that we're going to use to go from top 50 to top 5. They're not going to work in terms of going to top 5. That is what he wanted to say. And at the same time, for a crypto to move from top 5,000 to top 50, as he said, it needs to appeal to retail and lay crypto men as a high yield investment. That's why you're going to see new cryptocurrencies. They're going to promise a lot of returns. This cryptocurrency could do, let's say, 100x. It could do 200x. That is what attracts retail, and that's what makes cryptocurrencies move from top 5,000 to top 50. So I could say that going from top 5,000 to top 50 is more speculative. So if the narrative fits right with the community, I think you're going to see the growth from top 5,000 to top 50. But the same methods that you use, let's say from top 5,000 to top 50, are not going to work for a cryptocurrency to move from top 50 to top 5. So that's the actual meaning. For a cryptocurrency to go from top 50 to top 5, the journey is actually different. You need to appeal to high net worth individuals in the top 1 percentile. Crypto institutions and big, large institutions have to be interested in the crypto. And he continued to say that these investors are typically comfortable storing their wealth in Bitcoin with its market dominance and static ossified trajectory. So to present a viable store of value alternative, an alternative asset must be or believed to be able to outperform Bitcoin over a course of a full market cycle. You see the journey that we are actually on. So you can actually see the journey ahead of Kaspa. And this is not just a small thing. It's a big journey. Some people think that Kaspa has already arrived. I think Kaspa has a lot of things to do. And this comes from someone that has been into crypto for more than a decade. He has seen a lot of market cycles. Back in the days when these big institutions were ignoring crypto and they were ignoring Bitcoin, Yonatan Sompolinsky was busy trying to scale Bitcoin. Back in 2013, like a decade ago, he was trying to solve the limitations of Bitcoin. But unfortunately, these upgrades and everything that he was working on, they were rejected by Bitcoinized because they don't want to change the protocol. And that is what led to the birth of Kaspa. So this statement comes from someone that has seen a lot of market cycles. And the narrative that worked back in 2013, back in 2017, or back in 2021 is not the narrative that is going to work in 2025 and the future cycles. So you have to adapt and you have to really think fast. So he went on to discuss one of the questions that was posed to him by Galaxy Capital Partners co-founder. And he asked him this question, which said, if your wealth was stored in USD and someone put a gun to your head and forced you to place it in a single crypto asset, would you choose between Bitcoin or Kaspa? So let's say, ask yourself this question, like if you had a gun pointed to your head and you had to decide between Bitcoin or Kaspa, which cryptocurrency are you going to choose as a store for your entire wealth? I think this is a great question and it provides a different perspective. You have to think in terms of the perspective of these big institutions. Like if a gun was put into your head and they tell you to decide whether to put your entire wealth in Kaspa or Bitcoin, are you going to choose Bitcoin or are you going to choose Kaspa? In my opinion, I would choose Kaspa because of the amount of research that I have done. I've already chosen Kaspa, so there's no other decision to make. I already decided back in the days when I read about Kaspa, when I studied about Kaspa back in the days, I decided to put my wealth into Kaspa. And I'm happy to hear that. And I am happy to hear the reply from Yonatan Sompolinsky, which says, while you'd be happy to hear I went all in Kaspa mode, this question did prove useful in seeing the world through the lens of crypto institutions and understanding the magnitude of the uphill challenge. And while like any climber, glancing at the mountain peak is typically not recommended, I did feel that reaching the top 50 bracket justifies a sober look at the mountain to come. This, and not the price action or market cap in absolute terms, is the context for Kaspa's publicly painful facelift. And while I acknowledge that and take responsibility for the meal being served to the community in a suboptimal format, to put it mildly, I also believe there's no painless path to mature. So this is exactly true. You can't mature without having to go through some pain. This is exactly for things to happen, for things to renovate, you have to go through some suffering. I think this is absolutely true because for a project to actually mature, for a project to renovate, change has to happen, and change comes with a lot of pain. So there were some things that happened and they were so painful to see. There were some things which were said, but I believe everything that was done was with a good intention to see Kaspa change and move forward. So he went on and said, Kaspa must Bitcoinize. This is a hill worth dying on. Kaspa marries Bitcoin fundamentals with Solana level execution through committed research innovation effort. From a tech perspective, it deserves to win. This statement is actually powerful. From a tech perspective, it deserves to win. And this is actually true. When you talk about the technology, Kaspa deserves to win. But we all know that you can have the brilliant technology, but if you don't have adoption, if you don't have the community, and if people don't adopt it, then it's not going to win. That is what he is actually saying. From a tech perspective, it deserves to win. It winning is a win for the entire industry, a glimmer of market integrity. Now you can ask yourself, like, why do most institutions, why most companies now, why most big companies are allocating a huge amount of money into Bitcoin? It's because of the integrity of Bitcoin. Now we haven't seen another cryptocurrency with the same Bitcoin fundamentals that scales more than Bitcoin, that is decentralized like Bitcoin, and that is secure like Bitcoin, but at the same time has the integrity as Bitcoin. And that cryptocurrency is only Kaspa. And that's why I think this is one of the biggest advantages of Kaspa. And he continued to say that no one can faithfully guarantee it will get there or provide odds. I can guarantee though that Kaspa Core is not interested in half winnings, in a few more X's on the market cap with no actual value that can get us the ring. So most of the projects, they build and they create some things just to get through the bull run. You can see most of the cryptocurrencies were created specifically for the bull run. Like, so many projects are created just to fit the narrative in terms of the bull run. They just want to make money, and after the bull run ends, the projects are gone, the projects are done, the prices of these projects go back to zero. But this is what Yonatan is trying to say, that the aim is not just to create a cryptocurrency that gets, let's say, a few X's in market cap. So the aim of Kaspa is not to do, let's say, some few X's on the market cap, let's say have 25 billion in market cap or 50 billion or 100 billion. That's not the aim of Kaspa. The aim of Kaspa is to reach the finals. And this statement is actually also powerful. To reach the finals, we have to reach the top 5. And when you look at the cryptocurrencies that are in the top 5, you're going to see that we have Bitcoin, we have Ethereum, we have BNB, we have Solana, we have XRP. Now, these cryptocurrencies have market cap of above 150 billion in market cap. So in the top 5 cryptocurrency, I'll take an example from the number 5 cryptocurrency, which is XRP right now. And I think its market cap is ranging between 150 and 190 something billion in market cap. And the aim of Kaspa is to reach the top 5. It's like Bitcoin is the isolated cryptocurrency here. Bitcoin is a proof of work, decentralized, secure network. And all of these cryptocurrencies that follow are just proof of stake, and they are all centralized, VC backed and everything. I can try to imagine Kaspa taking this spot number 2. I can see Bitcoin number 1 and Kaspa number 2. And it would be really interesting to see 2 proof of work cryptocurrencies lead the line. Let's say have Bitcoin and Kaspa, and then all these proof of stake and proof of everything cryptocurrencies follow. And this is what Yonatan Sompolinsky was trying to say here. A win for Kaspa is a win for the entire industry because there's no market integrity anymore. That's why a win, as he said in the statement, from a tech perspective, it deserves to win. It winning is a win for the entire industry, a glimmer of market integrity. When you talk about market integrity, there's a lot of crazy stuff that is happening in Ethereum, BNB, Solana, XRP. Solana, we know what is happening, meme coins. XRP, we know that it is centralized. Ethereum is also centralized. BNB is also centralized. So all these cryptocurrencies, they are good, but they have major risks and setbacks. They don't share the same Bitcoin fundamentals. Only Kaspa marries Bitcoin fundamentals with Solana level execution through committed research innovation efforts. And Kaspa is not going to stop just because it has done 10 blocks per second, just because it is decentralized, just because it is proof of work and secure and scalable. It's not going to stop. We have a lot of developments coming. We have smart contracts. We also have Darknet coming on. We have MAV and Oracle stuff that are going to happen on Kaspa. So Kaspa is going to renovate day in, day out. They're going to keep on renovating Kaspa and making Kaspa good and adapt to the needs of people. He also proceeded to give a basketball example about the Lakers and how they failed to reach the finals, and the reason was because they did not believe that they could win the championship. So they played without belief to win the championship. And if you're playing without the idea of winning, the mentality of winning, obviously you're not going to reach the finals. And that's what he is trying to say, that we should aim to reach the final. And the final, as I said, is reaching the top 5. If we get the top 5, I think we can climb there and be next to Bitcoin. And this can actually happen because we are the only cryptocurrency that marries the fundamentals of Bitcoin. He proceeded to say crypto institution, VC, mining entities, etc. are by and large crypto veterans. Their attitudes and gut regarding alternative crypto assets are shaped by the dynamics and meta of the multiple cycles they witnessed. In order to know how to onboard such veterans a new infra protocol, you have to have entered crypto no later than 2017. Of course, there could be exceptions, but I haven't met any. Without having been exposed to 2017 ICO craze, scam website and selling languages, a non-crypto native marketing expert would create beautiful flashy graphics that would alas instinctively deter a 2017 school crypto veteran. or in a description promoting the project, she would use seemingly positive words scalability that would immediately bore crypto institutions and cause them to lose interest. So due to the scars that people have from previous cycles, so the people that were hurt back in 2017, when you try to create a new project and use the same tactics, the same old tricks to do the marketing to onboard these people that have been hurt in the previous cycles, that's going to be an immediate turnoff. Like, that's why people are not going to be onboarded. And that is what I think he is trying to talk about. For people that have been into multiple cycles, they've seen these scam things, how people started like marketing, like having these flashy graphics and some sweet words to do the marketing. There are some words and phrases that were used back in the days. And if you are a new project and trying to onboard a lot of people, if you use the same old tricks, instead of getting more people to come and join the community or join the ecosystem, you're going to be like repelling them. You're going to be chasing them just because of the type of method or marketing tricks that you are trying to use. So this is actually what he said. And that is the reason why Kaspa decided to opt community, just pure community. And he went on to say that the implication of this observation is that you should either have an exceptionally and unique informed marketing team and brand leaders. I am more than happy to give room from such caliber, or go community mode and avoid single points of cringe. Kaspa decided to take this community mode approach because everything that you see now circulating, it is all community. No one is having that, big voice. No one is bigger than the other. Everyone is free to talk about Kaspa the way they understand. I talk about Kaspa not because I'm part of the core team or not because I know a lot about Kaspa. I talk about Kaspa depending on my level of understanding. I'm not too technical, and there are some things that I believe I am still learning about Kaspa, but with everything that I read, anything that I believe that I have studied, I am free to share my opinion. And anyone in the Kaspa community is free to do the same. Like, if you have a certain understanding about Kaspa, you are free to share that information to anyone in the Kaspa community. And no one has the bigger voice than the other person. If you have, let's say, 3 followers, 500 followers, it doesn't matter. You are free to talk about Kaspa as much as you can. That's why Kaspa decided to go community mode and avoid single points of cringe. Other communities, you're going to find a big difference because there are some people that are key opinion leaders. Like, someone took something and that is what is going to be the opinion of everybody about the crypto. But when it comes to Kaspa, due to its decentralization, we saw what happened during the Kaspa X account. There was a lot of debates, a lot of fighting, a lot of arguments, not in a bad way, just to challenge the decisions and the thoughts in a positive way. So this is why I think the approach that was taken by Kaspa is actually the best approach. He continued to say that the benefit of community mode is that the medium fits the message. The message peer-to-peer is voiced by peer-to-peer. A central non-human agent could further carry the message provided its database and operation are transparent. It is a medium that could reflect our seriousness in relinquishing control points while saving vetted information on the project. Now listen to this point carefully. Crypto sharks will judge you in an instinct, and they are usually very good at it. Their primary check is not your tech, research, or market cap. It is whether the stated ambitions and the looks are fitting, whether the projects look like it says it is. The gut check is the first and quickest due diligence procedure, and it's one where many projects fail. If you speak of community and censorship resistance, but your communication is corporate style overly polished, investors will go elsewhere, e.g. to Doge, which looks exactly like its stated ambition. Woof woof, a joke that somewhere made it to the headlines. Or Solana, which looks and speaks like and is a non-intelligent centralized focus to deliver fast blockchain experience. For Kas, the community marketing is money radiates what crypto institutions think, and remember hardcore crypto looks like. I believe most of the decisions that most people make are not based on the amount of research that they make. Have you ever done a lot of research on something and end up doing something different that you didn't even have a lot of research into? So I think what he is trying to say here is that the gut check is one of the things that most of the cryptocurrencies fail. And this is actually true because I believe that most of the people's decisions are not based on the amount of research that they do. And these crypto sharks don't have a lot of time to go into the tech, how cool the tech is, how big the market cap is, how cool the research is. The gut check, if you don't pass the gut check, as he said, I invested in Kaspa before I even learned a lot about Kaspa. I am still learning about Kaspa. But when I invested in Kaspa, after investing in Kaspa, I found out more and more information as I kept on studying about Kaspa. So this is to say that investing in a certain crypto asset doesn't depend on the amount of research that you do in a project. You can do a lot of research on a project, and if the project doesn't convince you, if it doesn't pass the gut check, that project you're not going to invest in that type of project. The same thing happens to these crypto sharks. They are very good at judging you in an instinct. The gut check, they are very good at this gut check. So if the project doesn't pass the gut check, no matter how cool it is, no matter the research, no matter the market cap, these people are not going to invest in it. That's why it is really important for Kaspa to look like what it is being said to be. The narrative should fit what actually the project is. If you say that you are censorship resistant, if you say that you're decentralized, then you have to be what you say to be. And that's why Kaspa chose a community mode. No centralized voice, no person should be the big and leading voice in terms of Kaspa. And that is what is going to really push the adoption of Kaspa. So Kaspa's narrative should actually fit what Kaspa looks like. And that is what I find really, really interesting. So as I said, so the journey to the top 5 is not going to be an easy one. It's going to be the hard one. But with this type of community, with the Kaspa community, I believe that this can be achieved. So when you look at the top 5, as I said, you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, and XRP. These cryptocurrency have a market cap of more than 150 billion. And if Kaspa manages to achieve the top 5 spot, I think it's going to be worth $5+. So we are talking about $5 to $10, and this is going to be actually massive for Kaspa. And talking about the Kaspa community and its strength, we have this tweet which says, serious question for the Kaspa community. Are we actually just a network of highly efficient, passionate bots because the speed, consistency, and dedication are unreal? Anyone else feeling this? I can say that I also feel the same, because the Kaspa community is actually massive, and that's why most of the people are calling us bots, because of how consistent and passionate the Kaspa community is. The Kaspa community is going to show up in every type of post that relates to Kaspa, and they're going to try and go places that most cryptocurrencies will never ever reach. And speaking about the community mode of communication, I took almost 2 hours of my time to listen to this debate between Kaspa Silva and one of the Bitcoin maxi, who is called Rajat. So it was an interesting thing to see. And I said in the beginning of this video that we are now seeing the after effect of what was being said in this post, because we had one of the Kaspa members, who is Kaspa Silva. He's not part of the Kaspa core team. He's not a developer. He is just a Kaspa member who has decided to do his own research and understanding about Kaspa. And this debate was actually interesting because we had him go against one of the Bitcoin maxis, and the way he carried himself and the way he shared his knowledge was really, really exceptional. So I wrote this tweet and said, I'm sure Rajat will go back and listen again to what Kaspa Silva said carefully. He will understand Kaspa gradually. Great effort from Kaspa Silva, a lot of knowledge and composure from him. Now, debating Bitcoiners is not as easy as most other people think, because the Bitcoin community have already put this wall. They have this mentality that there is no second best and there's no need for any other type of cryptocurrency. Like, Bitcoin is everything. But at the same time, they accept the limitations that Bitcoin has when it comes to scalability, and when it comes to security, and when it comes to decentralization. They accept that there are certain types of limitations that Bitcoin has, but they are not willing to even open their mind to something innovative or something like Kaspa. So it's not an easy task, like, to really have a debate with someone with a closed mindset, but it's good that in this debate, it was really interesting. You can go and check it on YouTube. So I believe Kaspa Silva did a great job, and you can find this debate on YouTube on this account, on this YouTube channel called Mr. M Podcast. And as you can see, it has been 2 days. It has 12,000 views. And other videos, as you can see, they have 2.4, 6.4K, 12K views in 7 days. So you can see that the type of engagement that Kaspa is getting is actually incredible. And I think people are trying to wake up now to Kaspa. And once people realize how massive Kaspa is, I think something is going to happen, because you can see that Kaspa is getting attention from the Bitcoin community. And the Bitcoin community it's getting attention from the Bitcoiners, which is actually one great thing, because changing, the mentality of most of the Bitcoiners is one great task. And if Kaspa manages to and if Bitcoiners can be convinced that Kaspa is something special, I think this is going to be really massive. It starts like this. We have to start small. Everything starts somewhere. And even Bitcoin did the same, because Bitcoin started small and eventually it is now big. It is being adopted by big institutions, large institutions. Bitcoin was not big back in 2013. Crypto was not even big back in the days. Bitcoin had to go through the same thing with, centralized organizations, big institutions, but it's different now. Bitcoin had to convince other people. Bitcoin had to convince, bankers. You had to convince normal people who have never even listened about crypto. But it's different in terms of Kaspa, because now Kaspa is entering the cryptocurrency space where crypto is already a thing and most of the people understand Bitcoin. Now, it's not going to be the same experience as Bitcoin, because currently people know about crypto. But what do they know about crypto? They know about proof of stake. They know about VC funding, pre-mines and everything. They have forgotten the real crypto fundamentals. And this is what Kaspa brings. Kaspa brings integrity back. As Yonatan said in his post, Kaspa winning is going to be a win for the industry, restoring the market integrity. Now we have a lot of scams. We have a lot of being portrayed to be utility projects which don't deliver on their promises. Now, if you have Kaspa, which is proof of work, which is decentralized, which is secure and scalable, this is going to be massive. And I think if someone understands how big Kaspa is going to be, they're going to be really, really way ahead than most other people. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next episode.